So time for video office hours here at clickmillionaires.com. This is a special time for the members and me to hang out together. I like the idea of providing access to whatever I can do to help you, as well as helping you get to know each other better. That's really the theory behind clickmillionaires.com. The vision behind the site, as well as the books and everything else, is that people can help each other, and the internet allows new ways to find each other and to support each other. And I know, especially in the realm of entrepreneurship, well, it can be a lonely ride, frankly, especially as an internet entrepreneur. You're basically sitting in front of a computer screen by yourself, and it doesn't have to be that way. The internet takes away a lot of the face-to-face contact that we're used to having in the real world and replaces it with, well, little text bits and video broadcasts like this. But my thought is that the Click Millionaires Forum is a place where you can meet some other like-minded people and help each other. And I can help and participate too, and I'd love your help too. The bottom line is that clickmillionaires.com is based on the theory that a rising tide lifts all the boats, and the sum, I always screw this up, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. There, I almost got it. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So thank you for being here. That's the theory, and I love to help you guys and have you help each other, and let's see what we can make happen, all right? So, here at Click Millionaires Video Office Hours, this isn't a show. I don't have a big script or a plan. I'm not going to dance and sing. Well, maybe if you ask me the right questions, I will. But really the idea is if you guys have any questions or anything I can help you with, or that you can help each other with. This time is a catalyst for sharing information, and I'm happy to share the information that I have as the benefits of almost 2 decades online. Probably one of the longest tenors of anybody who's been online actually making money on the internet. It started for me back in 1994, well, even earlier, really, but it was really 94 when the first browser software hit, and that was the birth, really, of the commercial internet, and I was right there at Stanford University, and I've been online ever since as a businessman, not just as a hobbyist or for social purposes, but as a business person making money on the internet. So I've tried lots of things, and I've tried and died more than once. Somebody in the masterminds forum last week, I said something about something that I had done that didn't work out, and he was really surprised. Oh, you mean you've had mistakes? I'm like, yeah, sorry if that doesn't come across, but I've tried and died many times, and in fact, trying more often is one of the keys to success, I think. Investing time and money on the internet, well, it doesn't take as much as it did to start a business in the real world. So I think trying and dying is actually one of the paths to success, but we can talk about that more later. In fact, I have a closing quotation at the end of the show. Our friend Dave, who is one of our friendly members from the UK, actually, the last couple times we did this, he always asks me for a quote. So today I actually went and found a quote, and we'll talk about that as the finale for the show in a little while. Okay, so let's see if anybody's in the chat room there. It looks like you can see me and hear me, and it looks like Connie's joined us too. Hi, Connie. Nice to see you, of course. And anybody else that's got some questions, go ahead. A couple housekeeping notes. I just wanted to mention that we're going to give away a prize today. And in fact, we can do this every time we do this. I often forget, so you're welcome to remind me. One of the questions in the chat room is fine if you ask me and remind me to do things like a quotation or something, and a prize is one of them. So I've got a prize at the end of the show, and we'll pick that from the people who ask questions, okay? So the more questions you ask, the more entries you get in our little contest, and that's to encourage those of you who are new here to say hello and to ask a question. You'll get a lot more out of your participation in the forum and here by participating. The bottom line, you're not going to get rich watching. You get rich by doing. That's a quote right there, right? You don't get rich by watching. So it's great for me, you know, and I'm happy if you read my books. I'm happy if you read my blog, you listen to my podcast, but being a consumer of information is not going to make you any money. If you're here to make money on an ethical lifestyle business basis, of course, not a get-rich-quick sort of approach. But if you're here to make money, then you have to participate and do stuff. All right, so let's see. Anything else I had to mention? So let me say again, for anybody who's just joining, and then we'll get to the questions, the chat room is down in that corner. You have to be on clickmillionaires.com, a member of clickmillionaires.com, down in that corner, and there's a little toolbar nestled in the bottom, kind of down, let's see, down like there for you, right? Down that, no, there. And there's a little gear icon and some other little click on those and the chat room will pop up, and then you can see where we are. And then, yes, Charles. First question from Charles. So yes, you're in the lead. I'll get there in a second, Charles. Thank you. And you have to ask questions there. And what else? Let's see. Okay, well, let's take that first question, then I'll get back to the rest of my housekeeping stuff. But keep the questions coming if you'd like to win a prize. Oh, and by the way, share this. If you're on Twitter or Facebook or Google Plus right now, please take a minute. We're going to be here for at least a half an hour, maybe even an hour together, depending on how many folks show up. And we will appreciate you sharing it, and that's what I need to help keep this going, okay? So please share this or anything else that you find useful online, on the website. Okay, so let's do a question here, and then I'll tell you some more of the things that I had in my notes. So a question is from Charles. I'm currently trying to find niche sites. This takes a lot of time, and I was wondering if you have any suggestions. Oh, that's a big one, Charles. Where to start? Yes, 1,000 suggestions. The best thing I would do is go post this in the forum, because then you'll get a lot of opinions from a bunch of people, including me, and I think that could help you, because then we can be more specific than we can do in this format, right? But generally speaking, finding a niche that works is a cross between something that interests you and that you're good at. I'm trying to draw a circle here with my hand. And an overlap with another circle. They call this a Venn diagram, another circle that overlaps with things that people need enough that they'll pay for. A Venn diagram. What people need enough to pay for and what you want to do and are good at. That overlap is what you're looking for. So my point is, that seems kind of obvious, but my point is, the right lifestyle business for you, Charles, is not the one in 99% of the cases. And I've talked to hundreds, probably thousands of entrepreneurs over the years. The right choice for you is not the one you think is going to make the most money. It's not. The right one for you is the one that you enjoy enough that you're going to want to keep doing it, that is a passion for you. And maybe just the passion is to make money. Okay, maybe that's okay. But the really good one is the one that is a passion and makes money. And the way it's going to make money is if people care enough to come back regularly, to tell their friends, so that you get more visitors and you sell more ads, or to buy the thing, whatever the upsell is you have from the free content that you give away. That's the business model these days. You've got to cross over what you like to do with some, what I call commercial relevance. What you like to do crossed over with what they need and want enough to pay for. So I would take a list of your top 10 interests and start narrowing them down. And in fact, I have a surprise. Well, it's not really a surprise. I guess I announced it on the site already, but I have a big asset that's actually perfect for you, Charles, and that's this. I'd like to know how many of you guys on the site, in the chat room today, have seen this yet. Do you know what this is? I'm going to hold it right up and see if the camera can focus. There we go. New Niche Business Identification Checklist. Have you seen this? This is the revised and expanded edition of the one that's in the book. So in the Click Millionaire's book, there's a checklist, and it's got, I think, a couple dozen points that you can use to evaluate your different ideas. And where is it? I can't find it right now. It's somewhere about 2/3 of the way in. Well, I'm sure there it is. Okay, that's it. It's about 1 page in the book. The camera doesn't like this high exposure. You can kind of see that, right? All right, well, anyway, this one is much larger. This is a complete PDF. It's available on the website now. It's a free download. It just came available yesterday or Monday. And this is what I would do, Charles. This is a checklist based on my decades of experience online, building businesses. And the building businesses is as you're implying, the second or third or fifth step. The first step is finding the best idea you can. And to find that overlap between your own interests and what people are willing to pay for, you need to run it through the ringer. And if you haven't done this a bunch of times, the ringer is hard to figure out. What are the questions you should ask? These are the questions you should ask. So I'd encourage you all now, while we're talking, go to clickmillionaires.com. Under the tab that says How to Start a Business, you can download this. It's free. And I would really appreciate it if you would share it. All right? Will you take the link from that page and put it on your Facebook page, or put it on your Twitter account, or Google Plus, or Pinterest, whatever? This is a really valuable thing, and I'm giving it away for free. This is based on lots of experience, okay? And there's categories here. Your lifestyle goals, market analysis, revenue opportunities, operations, strategy, and then a scoring system at the back. that will help you figure this stuff out. So that, Charles, is my answer. If you haven't done this, you should go do it. And the trick, the best part of this is save the PDF and then print out like 3 or 4 or 15 copies of it. And you can use it to compare ideas. You know how when you have an idea and you can't figure out what to do, somebody will say, oh, well, write down a list of pros and cons. That's a good idea because it gives you an objective measure, but it's still hard to compare one idea against another. This will help you do that, and that's why I wrote it. So this is for you guys free, all right? Click Millionaires members have gotten this free before anybody else, and you can download this, and it's my gift to you. I'd like to help you, and this is promised in the book, and it took me a while to get it together, but it's money. This is money, okay? So thanks for the segue, Charles. You're well on your way to winning today's prize. Okay. Now, let's see. What else are we going to talk about? That's our first answer. I hope that's helpful, Charles. And go ahead and check it out and share it. That's what I really need, guys. If you like these shows and you like the PDFs and other stuff that we've got coming, share them. I need other people to know about this. Okay. Connie says this looks really helpful. Yes, it is really helpful. Thank you, Connie. It's a lot of mental time digested into an easy-to-use tool, and I hope that it helps all of you guys. Really, I do hope that it helps you, and it's free. So, let's see. The other thing I could use is more of you to check out Masterminds. Masterminds is the upgraded tier of ClickMillionaires.com. It's a paid service. Right now it's $39 a month, but there's a free trial. It's a smaller group. We do stuff like this a lot more often. The people really get to know each other. And if you're looking for help and personal support, I'm there a lot more. And the other folks are there too. We've got a bunch of folks who really are making money online and helping each other, and it's a great, friendly group of people. So think about that as an upgrade as well if you're interested in getting your business moving faster. All right? And let's see, what's next? Let's take another question. I thought I saw some more. Sheila says, should I sign up? This is our good friend Sheila. Thank you, Sheila, for putting that URL in the chat room. Oh, good question, Connie. How do you share this? Sharing, this is funny. This is one of those buzzwords that people that know it never explain it. And I'm meaning to write a post about this. Here's how you share it. Take the URL. Thank you. Well, Charles beat me to it. Charles, you are definitely in the lead for today's prize. No, Connie. You can't share this live video. People don't have to join the site to get the checklist, okay? But to share it, Charles answered your question. Copy the URL. Go to Facebook, paste it in your, there's a little box there that says what's happening today or something like that. Same thing on Twitter. Paste the URL in there and say to your friends, check out this cool new niche business identification checklist, or whatever you find from Click Millionaires. It's copying the URL. Don't just go and talk about it. You copy the URL and paste that in on Facebook or Twitter or Google+, Pinterest, whatever. Copying and pasting the URL. So you have to go up to the address bar up there, copy, highlight, select, copy, paste over to the social network, okay? Thank you for that question, Connie. That's a good one, and thank you, Charles, for explaining it. Yes, on your Facebook page. Yes, that's right. Okay, so next we were looking at Sheila. Sorry, Sheila had another question. Sheila, or a first question, I should say. Should I sign up for affiliates and AdSense before launching the site so that people are used to seeing advertising on my site? No, yes. So by that I mean you asked two questions there. Should I sign up for affiliates first? You could, but probably not, and here's why. Really good affiliate programs are picky about who they let sign up, and if you've not yet launched your site, they're probably going to decline you. Once you've been declined, it's harder to get approved. So I would wait on affiliate programs unless you're sure that it's one that they approve everybody or have a liberal approval process. So I'd wait on affiliates. For AdSense, I would do that now, yes. That's the yes. The no on affiliates, yes on AdSense. AdSense will take most folks early on, as long as your site, well, you know, I've been approved so long, I'd be a little careful about this, I guess. Make sure your site has some real content on it. Don't do it too early. Make the site look credible. And it has to be publicly available. If you haven't launched the site, like it isn't even available, like Google can't spider it even, then they're going to turn you down. So if you, by launching, you mean turn it on and make it publicly available, then no. But if you, by launching, you mean it's up there, people can see it, just nobody has come yet because you haven't marketed it yet. You haven't had the big coming out premiere, you know. That's okay, because Google isn't necessarily looking for a lot of traffic to approve you, but they do need to be able to see enough that they can say, okay, this is not a porn site, this is not ripped off content that's duplicated all over the web, there's not copyright infringement. They're just looking for basics of like, hey, does she look, is this legit? Does it look like reasonable content that real people are going to want to be reading, not some spammy, crap? So it has to be launched to that extent. And you're right, I think you got that from me somewhere, I've said that many times. I suggest putting ads on your site early in the development process so that the users are used to seeing it. That can lead to a little bit of what they call ad blindness, advertising blindness, meaning they literally can't, they don't see the ads anymore. But that's better in my mind than having you add ads later and people that are used to using the site and they thought it was free, and then they get really mad. Hey, this is supposed to be free. The internet's free. Why are you putting money on here? You sold out. And all this nonsense. You don't get that as much as you used to. But back in 2004 and 5, when blogging was all supposed to be non-profit, commercial free, like everything else is on the internet. First it's, oh, it's all free, and then of course people figure out, hey, there's money here, and then a couple years later, it's a business. So people still get bent about that sometimes, so I do recommend putting advertising on a site earlier than later in its development, just so the users understand, hey, this is a business, I'm going to see ads, and it doesn't freak them out. Then, after you've got a little bit of traffic and you've started to demonstrate what your content really looks like and hopefully build an audience, then I would go and apply to the affiliate programs, and you can upgrade some of those plain-looking AdSense ads with more targeted affiliate ads for offers that are specifically addressing your audience and their interests. All right, Sheila, I hope that makes sense. It's a good question, and it's one of those process things that if you don't know, you don't know, and I don't see anybody else talking about. So that's how we do it here at clickmillionaires.com. Let's see. Charles says, oh, that's a good point. Okay, thank you, Charles. It's been a long time since I got approved for AdSense, so things could be a little different. He says, I've been turned down from AdSense several times. I understand they are looking for more content and not just a page or two. Okay, that makes sense to me. That's kind of what I was hinting at. I just don't have personal experience with that, like I said, because I've been on AdSense for at least 10 years, maybe, well, probably not 15. Google didn't exist. But I remember they sent me a Christmas present in about 2001 because I was a big user of their service early on, right? And that was a long time ago. So anyway, in Charles' experience, do be careful, put on a little more content, it sounds like, than just a home page. And Sheila's follow-up question. Sheila pulling into the lead there with an extra question. Here comes Ron with another question. Okay, I guess we got to do prizes more often. I got to get the questions covered, huh? Okay. Sheila says, what about the affiliate program with Amazon? Will they take people early? Yeah, I think they will, Sheila. Amazon is a pretty forgiving program. They're really looking for world domination as much as sales, I think, and which is why I keep buying and recommending their stock. But the Amazon program, again, I've been approved forever, so I haven't tried a new account there in a long time, but they are pretty forgiving, I think, and they are more used to people having really niche sites, like you only want to sell, books about antique Japanese cabinetry or something, right? There's only a few products in the world for you, and books from Amazon is going to be one of those. So I think that their approach is a bit different, and I think that should be okay. Amazon and to get Amazon ads on early. Of course, anybody in the chat room have another experience, please chime in and update me and Sheila. We'd both appreciate it. Amazon, he says, Charles, here's back with more information. Amazon, yes. ClickBank, right, ClickBank, that's another example of affiliate ads. Thanks, Charles. ClickBank is a marketplace, and they've got tons of ads for all kinds of niche, kind of goofy stuff a lot of times, but some real stuff too, and stuff that can make you real money. They don't have very high standards at all because they kind of take anybody that comes because the niches are so narrow, and that would be a place to do affiliate ads if you wanted. Sheila, you could probably find something there very specific to your, as I recall, it's homeschooling sort of niche, right? So there are probably homeschooling products on there that might convert very nicely for you. That's a potentially very profitable suggestion there. Thank you to Charles. Let's see. And let's see, what else? I saw we got a lot of follow-ups here. I saw Charles, CJ, that's what it was, Charles, Commission Junction. That's the big broker. CJ.com is short for CommissionJunction.com. They're the largest broker of affiliate programs on the internet. I highly recommend them. It is easy, Charles says, to sign up for CJ, and that's true. It's not so easy to get approved by individual programs. Commission Junction represents, they're the marketplace for the official affiliate programs of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of merchants online. So big names like NewYorkTimes.com and eBay and Orvis and people like that. Avis Rent-A-Car. I don't know that any of those specifically are on CJ these days, but it's that kind of big brand names. So you can sign up for an account at CommissionJunction.com easily. But then you have to apply to individual programs within there, and each of those, if they're big enough especially, has someone whose job it is to manage that program, and sometimes they're very picky about who they let into the affiliate program. So in that case, I would sign up for CommissionJunction.com. I might wait a little bit to sign up to and apply for specific programs until you have a little bit of traction with your website. All right, so there's a whole unit on affiliate programs. Those are some great questions, guys, and thanks for asking all that. That's hopefully helpful to you. And of course, there's an affiliate marketing section on the forum at clickmillionaires.com, and I'd suggest coming in. A lot of those are fairly quick questions, and I appreciate you coming to video office hours, but the forum's there 24/7, and you could do this. We could do this all day, literally all day, all night. And I suggest you come into the forum and ask these follow-up questions too. Happy to help. Affiliate marketing is a really good opportunity. I've made lots of money from it over the years, and it's a really nice fit for those of you who are starting niche websites, because you can find something that really dovetails with the targets or the interests of your target audience. I think that's a great idea. Also wanted to mention that in the forum this week we've got a bunch of really good topics going on. I don't know who's paying attention over there, but if you haven't been to the forum lately, come on over, and I'd suggest coming in. There's, as usual, people talking about domain names, the lifestyle that they're living because of their Click Millionaire business, apps, how to develop apps, and whether it's worth it or not. That's a great incoming topic. Anything mobile I think is very valuable, and the forum's a great place to learn about that. Timing in terms of when to start something, that's always a good one. Landing page construction, multi-level marketing, that's a hot topic that I think deserves more discussion because so many people get ripped off by it. Patenting versus copywriting, that's a very useful topic started by Tao Yang from Chicago. I was in the forum the other day with help from a bunch of you explaining the differences between patent law and copyright law and trademark law and how those apply to a website operation and how you can protect yourself online. That's in the forum this week too. All kinds of stuff like that. I'd recommend you heading over to the clickmillionaires.com forum now if you haven't lately. If you're just joining us and you wanted to ask a question, the chat room is down there, okay? You got to be at clickmillionaires.com, and you have to go down there in the corner, down right here, okay? There's a little set of boxes. Pop up that chat room and say hello. We've got a great group of people here, and I'm taking questions live if I can help you. And, of course, you're helping each other, too, which is even better. Okay, so, okay, and Sheila says, thanks, very helpful as always. You're welcome. My pleasure. Let's see. Charles says, some Commission Junction affiliates will auto-accept, but not many. It can be difficult to get accepted. Great comment, Scott. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, that's exactly right. Some are auto-approve, and if you know which ones those are, I bet you could probably Google. Somebody's probably put a list together of those, that are auto-approved, but they change from month to month anyway. So those you can sign up easy, but the good programs quite often have somebody monitoring, and it's harder to get approved than it used to be. So I hope that's helpful to you guys with some thoughts about affiliate marketing. Now, Ron, here's our good friend Ron. Hey, Ron, nice to see you. I would love an update from you, sir, on your April challenge. How did that come together? I don't think we saw you in the forum because you were going to, we did a bunch of discussion about search engine optimization for different pages for your local piano tuning business. And I might have missed it. I'm not in the forum every day like I am at the Masterminds forum. But I'd love to hear, even if it's just a couple lines here in the chat room, love to hear from you how that's working out because I think it's a good opportunity for you as we've discussed. But on to your question here. Scott said, Scott, do you have a recommendation regarding where and how to place the AdSense ads? Yeah, that's a big one, and literally I mean big because this is the one that nobody likes, but it's the truth. If you want to make money from ads, they've got to be big and ugly and in your face. So if you've spent a bunch of time designing an attractive website and you haven't figured out where your ads are going to go, placing the ads is going to ruin the look of your pretty website. I'm sorry. Because if you put really subtle, tasteful little ads sprinkled around the edges, nobody's going to click on them. And AdSense ads only pay you if people click. So, unfortunately, the answer to your question, Ron, is a pretty simple one. Put the ads as big as possible in the middle of the page every time. Why? Because everybody that comes to the site is going to see a big ad in the middle of the page. And I know that sucks, and I've had arguments would be too strong a word, debates about this with people many times over the years. But that's what works. It's the same with television, right? You're watching a great show and suddenly, commercial. Why? Because they know you're there. It's the most interesting point of the show, and they go to commercial. They're like, you can't help but watch it. Even if you've recorded it and you fast forward, you couldn't help but see the first 5 seconds, right? It's the same thing on the internet, unfortunately. So let me give you an example. Let's say we had a page like this. Let's pretend that's a web page, okay? Kind of like that. If you put your ads down here or over here, especially down like over here where it's very tasteful, it's not going to work. Where you want to put an ad is right here. And that I'm using this shape deliberately because that's the box. That's called the box. It's a 300 by 250 pixel rectangle. And if you put one of those in the middle of your page, you will get the most clicks because it's simply ugly and gets people's attention. Now, the problem is that's so disruptive to most layouts that unless you're running a site that is very high traffic and you can afford to disrupt your content so much, you might want to skip that because it's just so abrasive, really. If you have high traffic, though, that's the place to put it. The compromise is, as usual, you can probably look at one of my sites to see the compromise that I've developed myself. And if you look at clickmillionaires.com, you'll see there's a big ad banner. They call that a leaderboard. It's a 728 by 90 banner. So if we go back to our, say this is a page, it's sitting right up here. Right, there's the headline. The headline of the site is here, the title, and then the banner ad is right here. In the middle, kind of like a ruler shape. Bang. So it's not so big and ugly in the middle, but it's right there. You can't get past it. And then I put other ones over in the sidebars. But the more in the central column above the fold you can do, the better. That's all there is to it. And I know it sucks. It's just the truth. These things don't pay you unless they get clicked on, and the bigger you make the target, the better. The problem is, of course, you do too much of that and people don't want to come back. So every site's a little bit different. The other angle with AdSense is that people recommend, and I haven't had great luck with this, to be honest. It feels a little deceptive to me, and I haven't seen the numbers really work that well either. They work okay. Maybe I just haven't done it right. But the other thing to do is to make small text ads. And these are different kinds of link units in AdSense. They call them like text ads, or maybe they call them link ads or something. The point is they're not graphic banner ads. And they're just like a 3-entry little text line. And Google will feed into that ads that are links for topics relevant to your site. So you might get a piano tuning or something like that would be the words. And people recommend that you make those the same color and font style as the other links on your site, so they kind of blend in. That bothers me. I've tried it, it works okay. It seems to me that works best because people click on it thinking it's a legitimate link in your menu. And that to me seems to be a disservice to your customers. So if your main menu says, piano tuning La Habra, piano tuning Orange County, piano tuning Los Angeles, then you have some ads right next to it in the same color and font size that say piano tuning this and piano tuning that. It's going to hurt your own customer traffic. You'll get paid on each of those clicks, but it seems pretty distracting to me. So when I do that, I tend to put them on the other side of the page or down below or something. It just really bugs me when they're integrated completely into the menu. But people say that makes you a lot of money. So if you're running a very high traffic site where I guess you can afford to sort of distract customers and send them off essentially to a competitor, that can pay good money. But if you have a niche site where you're trying to build a relationship with your customer and maybe sell them services, I'm not sure that kind of link is worth the small amount of income that you're likely to receive. Did that make sense, guys? I hope so. That's kind of a long explanation. I might have gotten too detailed there, but let me know how we're doing. Okay. So we're about halfway through, well, more than halfway through already. You're watching the Click Millionaires Video Office Hours. I'm Scott Fox, and this is clickmillionaires.com. This is a video office hours where I turn on the webcam here in my office and we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So thanks for being with me today. I appreciate it. We're running a little contest today to see who asks the best and most questions. We're going to do a little random drawing at the end. So the more questions you ask, the more entries you will get. And I'm going to need your help in a couple minutes to pick the winner. We'll see who it is. I wanted to point out again, before I forget, where did I put it? Here it is. This niche business identification checklist. This is a big deal, I think, to helping you advance your business online. And this is a free new download at clickmillionaires.com under the How to Get Started tab. So if you haven't got this, please go get it. It's for your own good. It might be a little tough to fill out, but I really honestly think this will help you a lot. I do a lot of private coaching calls, as well as work with a lot of our paying members in the masterminds forum. And this process is a lot of what we end up spending time on. And obviously calls with me are $250. The masterminds forum, $39 a month. Very well worth it, I'm sure, but this can save you a lot of that trouble. And I'd be happy to talk to you. Sure, go to scottfoxshop.com and sign up for a call. I'm happy to talk to any of you guys. Or the forum, of course. I'd love to have you upgrade to the masterminds forum. But come on over and use this, and it will get your head in the right place on an accelerated and free basis. Free is always good, right? All right. I'd also encourage you, while I'm thinking about it, of heading over to the site, go over to the site and look for the social media caravans that we're running. If you're looking for more Facebook likes, go to the social networks section of the forum and find the Facebook caravan. We'll have other people come, and we're all sharing our Facebook pages and liking each other. Same thing for Twitter. Same thing for YouTube. Come on in. We'll follow you. You follow us. We'll give you more views and likes and clicks and whatever it is. And that can help you increase your audience and honestly increase your familiarity with those social media tools if you're new to this game. And those are all posted in the social media, social networks section in the forum at clickmillionaires.com. Okay, heading back to our chat room. Who else is here now? Let's see, Charles is back. Let's see. One thing. Yes, Charles, excellent point. Charles says, one thing I've noticed when researching niche sites is that there seem to be YouTube videos on the top of the search list. I was thinking about trying to create an intro video on a niche site to see if that ranks at the top. My thoughts. Go for it. Absolutely thumbs up. If you think about it, from a business point of view, you'll see why this makes absolute sense, and you're 100% correct. Making a video can skyrocket you through the search engine rankings. Why? Two answers. A video can be very relevant. If somebody's going to talk about something, they're going to talk about a topic, and the title of that topic is probably directly related to the keywords, which are directly related to the search that somebody's typing in. And that's what Google's real product is, or service, I should say. The service Google provides, you can talk about it all day, and they do lots of things, but the bottom line is Google is an expert in relevance. Google is trying to take stuff, the mass of their, didn't they used to say their goal was to organize the world's information? I think that was one of their slogans. Organizing the world's information. To do that, they try to find the most relevant answer to any inquiry. And a video is often the most relevant. That's really what they're doing. They're finding relevant stuff. That's answer number one. Number two is, guess who owns YouTube? Google. Google owns YouTube. So they're naturally, very cleverly, in a non-monopolistic antitrust sort of way, driving people to their own traffic, their own properties, and increasing their own traffic within their ecosystem, right? And they're making a crap load of money out of YouTube now. For a long time, it was questionable whether that site would make money, and now they're printing money based on its synergies with AdSense and the other advertising programs that they've built. So absolutely, Charles, full steam ahead on that. Let's talk about it more in the forum. But search engine optimization using YouTube videos is a well-established tactic these days, and I highly recommend it to you and anybody who's listening. Head into the clickmillionaires.com forum. There's a special category specifically for video marketing, and let's talk about that. Or I guess you could put that in the search engine optimization section also. Either way, both of those will work, and both of those will help your business. I think it's a great idea. Alrighty, here. Let me just check something here. Moving right along. I'm gonna turn this down a little. Will that work? There we go. Got overexposed there. The light is changing, and I was looking pretty washed out. There. Oh, there we go. How's that? Look a little better? Okay, so you can see me. Let's see. Now we were saying, Ron, back to his question. Thanks, Scott, for the info. So this was about using AdSense and placing it on where to place it on the websites. He says, thanks, Scott, for the info. I plan on using AdSense on another camping website I have. Oh, great. Okay. And his April challenge update. If you're watching this video later or on YouTube or something, we run challenges at clickmillionaires.com, usually in October and April. And it's a 30-day mission to find something that you've been putting off and get it done. And we'll all help you get it done by supporting you and encouraging you and answering any questions you might have in the forum. So Ron's was about a lot of search engine optimization and expanding his local piano tuning business. So his update is, I've built 6 city landing pages so far. Really? Wow! And I'm working on 6 more. Woo! I'm using Yoast local SEO for WordPress. It's working very well. So the Yoast is a plugin for WordPress, and it sounds, that's fabulous. Wow, Ron, good for you. So 12, you're going to have 12 city landing pages? My goodness. Go Ron, go Click Millionaire. That's the way to do it. Yes, Sheila says, great job, Ron. You've really gotten far with your project. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very impressed, Ron. Good for you. I think that can help you in the long run. I don't know that it's going to kick in, new dollars right away, but having that kind of presence is only going to help. The web is more and more full of spammy nonsense, but if you do this right and you do it well, you're going to have an asset here that continues to build for you. And that's really smart. I'm really glad that April Challenge is so helpful to you, and I'm glad you're an ongoing member of our forum. It's great to see somebody who asks the right questions and then actually follows up on the answers to do it. That's what it takes, right? Honestly, this is not rocket science. And if you can get the right answers and then you have the guts to go and do it, you'll make it happen. So I'm really happy to hear that, Ron. Great news. Great news. All right, so who else got some questions here? We're working our way through our time together here pretty quickly. Be happy to help you with what else you've got. I wanted to also mention, if you don't know that there's a mobile version of this site, I keep saying this, but just in case you don't know, when you're out and about, I'd encourage you, you can point your browser on your phone. Where's my phone? Here it is. Okay. Point your browser on your phone, and you can put in the URL clickmillionaires.com/m. /m, and it will take you to a mobile version of the site. And then you can keep up with the forum really easily. So if you're waiting for the bus, or you're waiting for a train, or waiting to pick your kids up from school, or waiting at the doctor's office, whatever it is, clickmillionaires.com/m. And you can see it on your normal web browser. It's fine, but it's formatted to show up in this little skinny screen. Okay, so clickmillionaires.com/m, and that could be real handy for you for keeping up and participating in the forum. Okay. So, all right, look at that. Okay, we've got some URLs here that Ron's sharing with everybody. Good job. That's looking great. Looking great. All right. Okay, let's see. Well, we're going to need some more questions for you guys, or I'll go over to the ones that people have written in with from our forum members. And I always like to talk to you folks who are here live, but I've got a good one here about keyword research. You want to hear about some keyword research? Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's see. And check my notes. Oh, I should mention, I need to mention this every time. There are no dumb questions. There's a bunch of you here just kind of lurking. If you feel like what you want to ask is too simple, please don't. That's why I'm here. Honestly, that's why I started this stuff. A lot of the folks that are here talking today are fairly advanced users. You don't need to keep up with them. Simple questions are fine. I think learning the internet and learning internet business is kind of like learning a foreign language. If I set out to learn Portuguese today, I'd have a heck of a time. But the way you learn it is one word at a time. And the more participation you can have, immersion, the better. So if I were actually to go visit Rio or move to Sao Paulo, I'd probably learn it a lot faster. And that's how I see the forum. Participation there, asking questions here, asking questions in the forum, of course, as well. But participating is how you're going to learn. So please don't be shy. I'm a friendly guy, and so are our members, as I hope you can see. Any question is a fair question, and I'll give it my best shot. And by the way, I don't know everything either. So if you've got a hard question, that's welcome too. And together we'll crowdsource the answer and give you something to chew on that I really hope will be helpful for you. Okay, so next question is about keyword research. This is from our friend Marla. Marla is a Masterminds member, and she asked this question about keyword research. because she's trying to decide on her niche business. And actually, this might be useful to you, Charles, back, I think it was Charles at the beginning of the show asking about that question about how to pick a niche. Let me just make sure. Yes, it was Charles. Okay, so Charles, this is for you as well, I think. How to pick a niche and using keyword research to do it. So Marla's question says this. Hi Scott, I need help on figuring out how many searches to look for and deciding on a niche area. Using the Google Keywords tool, which by the way, googlekeywordstool.com is a simple URL that I set up that will help you get to the Google Keywords tool easier than going to try to find it because it has a really ugly URL of its own. So I recommend googlekeywordstool.com. Bookmark that and it will help you find it. I did my research there. I came up with 1.5 million global monthly searches on the major keywords, 823,000 on local. I narrowed the terms down. Search numbers ranged between 8,000 and 673,000 depending on the exact keyword. Is this enough to continue with this niche? I am so clueless. Okay, so that's actually a fairly advanced question, so you can tell Marla is not clueless, but it is easy to get mystified by keyword research. So here's what I would suggest. Keyword research is really a numbers game, a tool, not the answer. It's just a tool. So first of all, I would say no matter what keyword research says, I would go with what you believe. Because a lot of times you're looking at a niche that other people don't appreciate. Otherwise, you wouldn't be building yet another website about it, right? You're going for something that you know personally, at least ideally. The classic Click Millionaires philosophy approach to building a new lifestyle business is about going with something that you believe from your heart, from personal experience that you can share with the world that will help other people, right? So you're looking at something that may not show up really in the keyword research as strongly as you would think because it hasn't been properly collected and framed and put in one place for people. All right, so keyword research is not the be-all and end-all, but it is a very useful tool. So how can you use that tool? Well, Marla's looking at searches between 8,000 and 673,000. How do you pick these keywords? Well, unfortunately, it's kind of a game of arithmetic, believe it or not. Arithmetic is what you do with these numbers. Just looking at numbers isn't going to tell you a whole lot. I would say roughly this. Anything with 1.5 million searches is probably too broad. I'd be very surprised if there weren't a lot of other sites attacking that set of keywords. And by attacking, I mean setting up a website that's optimized with those keywords in order to create a high search engine ranking in order to attract lots of free traffic. That's what I mean by crowded niche. There's already people using those keywords and competing for them highly to get a high search engine ranking. So 1.5 million searches, that's a pretty juicy piece of fruit. Somebody's probably already plucked that one and taken a few bites. Although the Google Keywords tool will show you a little graph. It shows a little bar graph that will help you figure out whether there's low competition, medium competition, or high competition. That might be helpful for you also. So 1.5 million is probably too much. You're probably looking for something more targeted. So I would guess you want something between tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. But then what you need to do is run some numbers. And this is going to be a little bit hard to do in a video, but bear with me for a second. Say you had 100,000 searches a month. You need to figure out what your business is going to be. Are you selling high-ticket items where you can just sell a couple a month and you're fine? Like you're selling, I don't know, antique cars. You know, you're selling classic Corvettes that cost 50 grand a piece, so you sell 3 of those a month and you're fine? Or are you selling something really inexpensive like $1.99 ebooks or ads, right? If your ads, your AdSense ads pay, say, 20 cents a piece, well, you need a lot of clicks each month. So that affects how many searches you need from Google Keywords tool. So let's say you need 100,000 searches to make your money. You've got to run some numbers in your head. Say, if there's 100,000 people, what's a likely conversion number? Roughly speaking, conversion numbers range from 0, meaning nobody actually clicks or buys anything, up to a couple percent. There are very few situations where things convert at more than 2 or 3 or 5%, meaning that if 100 people come, 3 people click. That's a 3% conversion rate. So let's say you had 100,000 of them, and let's use 5% as a round number. So 100,000 people come, you have 5,000 conversions. So if you're selling cars, and you sell 5,000 cars, you're a millionaire. You've retired in a month probably, right? But if you're selling ads that only pay 10 cents a click, well, 5,000 of those is going to pay you 500 bucks. So that's a very different equation. You need a lot more searches than you do if you're selling something with a high ticket item, even at the same conversion rate. So I hope that helps, but what I'm trying to drive you to here is the thinking that the searches alone are only an indicator. They only give you a range, a very helpful range, one that was never available back in the 20th century, right? Even 10 years ago, this kind of information, this is gold mine of market research, right? Just for a few clicks at googlekeywordstool.com. But once you have that number of searches, you've got to think about, well, what am I going to do with those searches? Assuming I get some percentage of that traffic to my site and some percentage of those people do something, what is it they're doing? Is an email sign up worth, say, $1 to me? Or is an email sign up worth to me $50 because I'm going to sell them a house? You know, maybe it's worth $5,000 because you're going to sell them a stock and bond portfolio. I don't know, so you're a financial advisor, right? Very different models. So, not trying to bewilder you with numbers, but I'm trying to make the point that keywords are only as good as your back-end model. What's your financial model for your business? What are you going to do with those visitors? Because the fact is, if you figure out that for every visitor I get that actually converts, I make X dollars, I make $100 per visitor. Well, if you can make $100 for every visitor, then you can spend a ton of money on advertising. You can buy your way to success, right? But there are very few websites that make $100 per visitor. Most of us are playing around with a certain amount of cents per visitor, really. And you have to run some numbers, unfortunately, to help you figure out what kind of keyword searches are necessary for you to make a profit. So I hope that makes sense to you. I have some financial training, obviously, so that comes a little easier to me than to a lot of people. But I'm happy to talk about it more in the forum if you'd like to dig in. And any of you watching, please come and ask some more questions. We can talk about their search ranges. And I hope that that's helpful to you because there's a lot of misinformation about keyword use and a lot of distraction. Because, like, as I said, my first point was really that it's not the only answer. Right? There are lots of other ways to make money online, and you don't have to be in the search engines at all if you're a really good marketer. I mean, that would be kind of crazy. I'm exaggerating, but you know, if you were buying Super Bowl ads and you're on TV every night, well, you don't need to be in the search engines at all. People will come and find you. So you got to get somewhere in between there. What kind of budget do you have? What kind of business model do you have? And then what is your search engine optimization and keyword strategy that helps tie those together on a cost-effective basis so that your lifestyle business can make you a profit while still doing something that allows you to enjoy your lifestyle. That's the point of all this, right? You don't need another job. So, all right, so getting near the end here. It's Click Millionaire's Video Office Hours. I'm still Scott Fox, still here with you, and hoping that you're enjoying this. You know, we're doing this pretty much, I think, about every 3 weeks now, and I hope that I'll see you again in a couple weeks. But let's take a few more questions before we wrap up. Let's see, Charles and Ron talking about WordPress themes in the chat room. Great. Let's see, Charles sharing some of his experience. Great. Okay, that's all helpful. Okay, so let's see now. So I guess maybe it's time. What time is it? We've been more than 45 minutes here, so I guess maybe we should get over to our prize drawing. Now, what I'd like is for all of you to give me a random number. Everybody just type in the chat room. Pick a random number between 1 and 10, between 1 and 10, okay? And I'm going to do a drawing. And what are we going to give away? Let's see. Let's give away. Let's give away one of these. I haven't done one of these lately. Have you guys seen these? This is a Click Millionaire's idea journal. It doesn't show up real well, but it's embossed here. Does that show up? It looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, there you can kind of see it, right? See that? It says Click Millionaires. Subtle but kind of tasteful. This is a very nice notebook. These sell on Scott Fox Shop for 10 or 15 bucks, I forget. And this is full of my secret notes. You can't have this one, but I'll give you a blank one. And it comes with it's a moleskin type thing, right? This, you can keep all your best Click Millionaire ideas, and you can keep that in there. And I'll send this to you as long as you're a United States resident. I found out it costs a lot to ship these overseas. So if we pick somebody who's not a U.S. resident, I don't want to give you one that costs more than the shipping. We had somebody order one from New Zealand, and I think it was $27, and that cost more than the book. So anyway, okay. So let's see. Let's go. Let's see now. Let's go. Okay. Thank you for the numbers. I see 9, 3, 4. 20,000 is a lot higher than we're looking for, Connie. You must be answering somebody else's question there. So all right, so let's go back, and I'm going to see who asked question number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, let's see, there's Charles, Sheila, Connie, Ron. 4, I think that's you, Ron. Roughly speaking, Ron is the winner. Ron, would you like, do you have one of these yet, Ron? I'll send you one if you don't. And if you already have one, we'll send you something else. But that's the, or I'll tell you what, if you want this, oh, that's fine. We'll send you one. You want one of these or one of my other books? Let me know. I don't know which of my books you have. But that yields a reward for Ron. And I think that that's probably well-deserved given your success in the April Challenge. That's very impressive. Very impressive. What you've done there, and I'd love to see them all. Please come. Would you come tell us in the forum? Maybe you did. I'm sorry if I missed it, but if you did, come and reply to it and bump it back up into this and onto the front page, because I'd love to see that, and other people would love to hear about the success you've had. If the April Challenge was helpful to you, please come help some other people by showing them a little bit your success. That would be great. So Ron, I'll need you to email me at prizes@clickmillionaires.com, prizes@clickmillionaires.com, and send us your mailing address, your physical mailing address. This is not an ebook. So we'll mail you one of these. If you prizes@clickmillionaires.com, include your email or your physical mailing address. Okay. All right. So anybody have any more questions, or I think we're about done. I've got a closing quotation I wanted to talk about. That was a suggestion by our friend Dave, who is off in Croatia this week. Did you see his post in the forum? He's on vacation in Croatia, which I guess is the sort of thing you do if you live in London. It sure sounded nice. So he's not with us tonight, but in memory of Dave, we will talk about a quotation that I printed out here, which is still in my printer. This is a printer to wrap up our show tonight. Here's our quotation. This is from an internet visionary guy. You might guess who it is, but I'll tell you, and then I want to talk a little bit about it because I think this is kind of inspiring. And this goes back to our point at the top of the session, talking about how failure can actually be helpful and that you really can't predict what's going to happen because you just got to get out there and try. Here's the quotation. Trying to understand how a tech company is going to be successful is a little bit like looking at a sonogram and trying to predict the baby's hair color. I thought that's funny. Trying to understand how a company is going to be successful is a little bit like looking at a sonogram and trying to predict the baby's hair color. And who said that? Anybody? You can guess. That's I should have had you guys guess who said it. Anyway, that was, I'll take guesses, but I want to talk about it anyway. This is the thing. A lot of people are really scared to start their website, to put it out there. But the fact is you're not going to know enough until you put it out there and try. And trying to predict exactly how you're going to make money is hard to see until you get out there and start interacting with customers. I have a number of websites, including I know some of the people in here that we've had private discussions who have changed their business models, pivoted. They call that pivoted in Silicon Valley. You pivot. You thought you were going this way and you pivot over here. And they've pivoted to change their model to address a slightly different target audience. The content is still the same, but they pivot to address a different market where they found there is more, sorry, not a different market, but a different angle on the same market because they found that that's actually where the money is. So I don't want you to be too worried about getting things right when you launch because trying to predict how you're going to make money and exactly how everything is going to work is kind of like looking at a sonogram and trying to predict the baby's hair color before it's born. It's just really hard. If you could do that, more power to you. But you got to get up there and get going. And you will learn the more you interact with customers. All right? So who said that? That was Mark Andreessen, who was the gentleman who helped found Netscape and invented the internet browsers that we're all using as we have this very video office hours session. Mark Andreessen. He's a very, very rich guy and now a venture capitalist up in Silicon Valley. So there you go, Mark Andreessen. Trying to understand how a tech company is going to be successful is a little bit like looking at a sonogram and trying to predict the baby's hair color. And I would say the same to you, my Click Millionaire friends. Just get that business going, get it out there. You will learn the more you interact. You'll learn a lot more by interacting than you will by studying. All right. So I hope that's helpful to you. It's been great having you here with me for this hour. I appreciate your coming. I appreciate you being part of ClickMillionaires.com. And hey, would you do something for me, please? One little thing. Go look at that niche business identification checklist and share it. Please share it out. Take the URL, copy the URL at the top of the page, paste it over into the status box on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, whatever you're active in, including our own forum. If you want to share it around there, that's fine. But other forums, actually, that would be my #1 request, actually. What other forums are you on? Please share news about Click Millionaires and the ways that we're trying to help people, including you, of course. And I appreciate your help. I appreciate you being part of clickmillionaires.com, and I hope that you're having a good time doing it. We're all working together to raise that tide to lift all the boats, and I hope it's working for you too. Thanks for being here. I'll see you again real soon in the forum, and please, congratulations, Ron. Don't forget to send me your mailing address, and the rest of you. If you're the most helpful members in the forum, we give away Community Star Awards every month, and those include prizes too. So come on back and help me make clickmillionaires.com the friendliest lifestyle business coaching on the internet. Thanks. Great to have you here with me. See you soon in the forum, I hope.